Fires in the maritime environment represent a significant risk not only to the ships, crew, but also the passengers. With some vessels now carrying in excess of 6,000 passengers, it's even more important that we have a credible response to these type of incidents so that we can prevent a mass evacuation of passengers at sea. In 2012, a number of EU partners came together to develop the MIRG EU project, which was aimed to focus on reducing this risk and improving safety at sea by training specialist crews to attend fires on ships. The project itself has delivered a set of standard operating procedures, an agreed training programme, and also culminated in a major exercise off the coast of Holland in June 2014.
In June of 2014, the partners in the MIRG EU project combined to undertake a large-scale exercise on board a DFDS ferry, the Princess Seaways, off the coast of Holland. The exercise was designed to test the ability of the teams to respond to and deal with an incident on board a vessel at sea. In the event of an incident on a vessel, the ship's master would put a distress call in to the relevant Coast Guard Coordination Centre, who assess the call and then request the assistance of a MIRG team via the Fire and Rescue Control Centre. On receipt of the call for assistance, the MIRG team gather to assemble the required equipment and prepare to be transported to the vessel. Crews are transported to the vessel via helicopter and winched on board along with their specialist equipment. A command team is lowered on board first, followed by a support team. During the exercise, the helicopter was very kindly provided by the NHV crew from Ostend. Once on board the vessel, it is vital that the firefighters log who is on board and the procedure should an emergency evacuation of the vessel be required. The officer in charge of the MIRG team also makes contact with the master of the vessel to agree the assistance required and to begin to develop a plan.
The importance of careful planning in the initial approach when dealing with an incident on ship cannot be underestimated. It is absolutely vital that crews get early information on the location, the severity of fire, any hazardous cargo and any risks to life. It's only then that the crew can set out their initial tasks and priorities when dealing with the incident. Because of the limited resources, it's highly unlikely that we'll be trying to extinguish the fire whilst the vessel's at sea. The strategy will be to contain the fire by cooling bulkheads to ensure that we can bring the vessel into port. It may also be that we contain the fire and hand that over to a commercial salver while the vessel is offshore.
The vessel is 161 metres.
The command team's role is to establish the scale of the incident and develop a plan to contain the fire and prevent the escalation of the incident. Once the command team have agreed a plan with the master, the fire teams are briefed about the tasks they have to undertake. The scenario for the exercise involved a simulated lorry fire on one of the vehicle decks. The command team developed a plan to contain the fire, and this was communicated to the firefighting teams. Once the plan is understood, the firefighting teams use breathing apparatus to enter any smoke-filled areas. During the exercise, their task was to proceed to the affected deck to begin to conduct boundary cooling. At all times, the crews made sure that they moved through the ship in a safe manner, assessing the conditions. Once at the relevant deck, the teams put in place specialist equipment called fan sprays. These sprays are designed to cover a bulkhead or deck with a fine water spray. This helps to keep the structure of the ship cool, reducing the impact of the fire and helping to buy valuable time to get the vessel back to port. At all times, crews ensure that they monitor and limit the amount of water they are using to reduce the impact of this water on the stability of the vessel. The exercise concluded once all of the tasks had been achieved and the simulated fire had been contained. Also present at the exercise were a large number of observers from partner organisations. These observers came from all over the world to observe the outcomes of the project being put into place and to establish contacts to further develop the MIRG concept across Europe and beyond.
Today's exercise went very well for us. After a duration of 12 months until 18 months of preparation, we finally could show what we have achieved.
And today we have made a large-scale exercise with all the fourth nations which work together in MIRG project. It's a main exercise today. We are now used to use the same politics, the same equipment, the same methodology, and I am sure that in the future you could make a very large and main team for the fight in the harbour or in the sea.
I think it's been a fantastic day here today. We've learned a lot from the exercise. It's been a really good experience for us all. I think now we need to take the learning outcomes. We're going to have a conference in September where we can discuss actually all the good points that came out of it and the areas where we need to work. And hopefully as a group we can then look forward to closer working and hopefully on to the next EU exercise in 2015.
As a Belgian partner, I can say that we are very pleased about the way this large-scale exercise was implemented. Starting from the preparation phase to the actual exercise today. Every team, the four partners did an excellent job, and I hope this MIRG project can continue in the future and become once a EU module.
We're really looking forward to continuing to develop this relationship with the MIRG EU team to ensure safety of passengers and crew on board all of our ships and also all of the other ships that operate in our busy seas on the Channel and in the North Sea and in the Baltic.
The MIRG EU exercise was a significant undertaking which required a lot of detailed planning and activity over several months. It was a huge success and enabled all of our partners and operational teams to use the standard operating procedures and training programme and test those in a realistic and demanding environment. Our thanks go out especially to DFDS for providing the vessel and working with us throughout the exercise, and also to the European Regional Development Fund and Interreg for providing the funding for the whole project. The project partners are now working very hard to make sure that the effort we've put into MIRG EU remains sustainable, and we're also looking for opportunities in the future to build on this work and create a platform which will improve maritime safety in the future and for many years to come.